Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Trina here with a new video for you! In this video, we'll dive into the Orlumbus from One Piece. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat, so let's get started. Orlumbus, also known as the Massacre Ruler, is a 42-year-old admiral who used to be an adventurer, with a bounty of 148 million berry. He was born into poverty but was an avid reader and scholar. Using his knowledge, he earned the title of Made-Up Explorer, but it is unknown what he did to get it. The king of the Standing Kingdom eventually made Orlumbus into an official explorer, making him an admiral of a massive fleet, later called the Santa Maria Grand Fleet. With his own fleet entitled Admiral, Orlumbus finally had the opportunity to become a true adventurer. He gained the epithet, Massacre Ruler, with his abilities to command a large fleet with skill in the New World. His fleet quickly became famous, and it was rumored that anyone who could sink the fleet would be able to make a name for themselves. Orlumbus made his appearance in the series when he entered the Kurita Coliseum to compete for the Marimara no Mi. He was placed into Block D for the Battle Royale. Fighting Lion was defeated by Orlumbus, but he was also taken down by Cavendish's alter ego Hakuba. Block D was completely wiped out as a result. Later in the story, Orlumbus was transformed into a toy by Sugar and forced to work in the underground trade port. He was returned to his original form once she fell unconscious. He and the other fighters made their escape to the surface after Doflamingo trapped Dressrosa in his bird cage and Pika created an opening with his ability to shift land. After meeting with Luffy, Zoro, and Law, Orlumbus became an ally, saying that he would take Doflamingo's head. He fought off the former toys who came to take the heads of Luffy, Zoro, and Law, and also joined the fight against Pika at the Royal Palace. Orlumbus and the other allies fought through Doflamingo's troops but fell back when Pika's stone arm attacked them. He was impressed by Luffy shattering Pika's stone head and continued to fight. They eventually reached the first level of the King's Plateau. The Don Quickstock pirates' troops stood in their way but were easily taken down. Orlumbus took a punch to the face by Lao Ji but was still seen actively fighting the troops afterward. He assisted Zoro by forcing a group of enemies to stand in formation and take them down with a new technique, similar to bowling, Teitoku Killer Bowling. Orlumbus told Zoro he would leave Pika for him. He again assisted to take down Pika, throwing him at the enemy. After this move, he was finally defeated. After Pika's defeat, Sai told Orlumbus that the bird cage was shrinking and he needed to wake up their fallen comrades before it reached them. The gladiators defeated the remaining enemies and worked together to push the bird cage back. It collapsed after Luffy defeated Doflamingo. 3 days after his defeat, the Marines were sent to pursue Luffy and his allies. Using his Santa Maria Grand Fleet of 56 ships, Orlumbus assisted in helping the Straw Hats and their allies escape. After boarding the ship, he and his 4,300 crewmates were asked to join Luffy's pirate alliance. Orlumbus agreed, on the condition that Luffy drink a cup of sake, which he declined to everyone's surprise. Despite this, they still created an alliance which was known as the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. A feast was held to celebrate the defeat of Doflamingo, and Orlumbus received Luffy's Vivre card before parting ways. The fleet set out to sea, and Orlumbus spoke to the king of the Standing Kingdom to resign as an adventurer. Now a pirate, his first official duty was to fold his pajamas and then check on the cleaning of the ship. After bidding the Standing Kingdom farewell, the king and his army assaulted the stolen fleet with cannon fire. Orlumbus wrote a piracy plan which had them go to an unknown island to attack the citizens. After learning the inhabitants were living in poverty, he decided to instead give them supplies and leave the island. This is the last we have seen of Orlumbus so far, so we will now move on to his appearance and personality. He is an enormous man who looks like a conventional pirate captain. His mouth is almost always a frown and he has a blonde mustache, along with stubble on his chin. He has long blonde hair that is worn in braids, slung over his hat and his shoulders. His upper body is huge and very muscular, but he has a small lower body with short legs. His attire consists of a maroon pirate hat with a skull, an open maroon admiral's jacket, light green shorts tied with a turquoise cloth, and red boots. He carries a long whip that he uses to fight against his enemies. Despite looking thuggish, he is very intelligent and orderly. He enjoys reading and studying, and takes the role of leader seriously. He makes sure to follow protocol and stay on the schedule, along with keeping things tidy. He is quick to give out orders to his men or enemies, with the latter initially going along with what he said due to his charisma, before realizing Orlumbus is their enemy. Because of his leadership qualities, he easily commands his fleet of 4,300 soldiers. He is an upstanding citizen, despite his reputation. He never falls to greed and became loyal to Luffy after pledging the allegiance of his fleet to help them out. His compassion is shown when he decides to help the citizens of the poor island by giving them supplies, feeling guilty. Orlumbus has immense physical strength, as one could guess by his physique. He can lift a lion with one hand and also threw Zoro with high velocity from Flower Hill to the Old King's Plateau. He has 3 techniques as well. Teitoku Hug, called Commodore Hug in the Funimation sub, is a bear hug that he can grab a group of enemies in, able to crush them with ease. Teitoku no Igen, Seretsu, called Commodore Dignity, Atten-hut in the Funimation sub, consists of him using his deep and compelling voice to order his opponents to follow his command. The final technique is Teitoku Killer Bowling, seen earlier in conjunction with Teitoku no Igen Seretsu. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and have a great day!